Hi, everyone. We've got some folks
Everyone.
still joining the room here. Looks like we've got a good group going. All right, I'm gonna dive right in. So, welcome to Broker Connect. It's been a minute since we've hosted this session. We took some time off to really make sure that we got some good guests for you, and to make sure that we're giving you good content. So we are happy to be back. And yeah, let's dive right in. So for those of you who don't know, or maybe this is your first session, Broker Connect is a engagement focused session. It's interactive. And we bring together top brokers who use the ARIVE platform and other users who want to know more about it. And I'm here today with two awesome guests. So we have Thomas and Peter, or Tom, sorry, Tom and Peter of GoRascal. I'm super excited to have them here. But before I turn it over to them to introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their brokerage, and of course, open up the floor for your questions, we just have a few pieces of business to take care of. And I will be quick. So for those who don't know, we offer a ton of weekly learning opportunities. These are all completely free for ARIVE users. So we really encourage people to take advantage of these. The first thing we have is an onboarding and Q&A session. This is offered every Tuesday. This is step one of your ARIVE training, and you don't even need to be an ARIVE user to join this one. So it's really to get all of your questions answered. We also offer 2 sessions of new user training every Wednesday. There is a part 1 and a part 2. This is very comprehensive. There is an Ask ARIVE session. So we have this on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, where for an hour you can drop into Ask ARIVE, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You ask our product experts your questions, and they will be able to actually screen share and show you how to get things done. We also have a special processor specific training on Wednesdays, and we also have an AE training offered once per month on Wednesday. The next is December 13th. So if you want your AEs to be better versed on the system, be better partners to you, then definitely send them to that training. Lastly, we have ARIVE University. This is every other Friday when Broker Connect is not airing. And this is where you can learn all about the updates and enhancements to the ARIVE platform. So more info on these events can be found on arive.com/events, and I will drop that link in the chat. And you can sign up for them and learn more about them from there. All right, I am done talking. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the reason why everyone is here. I am going to kick it over to Tom. Tom, why don't you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your brokerage, your history, and then we'll kick it over to Peter to do the same.
Sure. Name's Tom. I'm from Jersey. I work with GoRascal. They're based out of New York in a bunch of states. And I've only known the wholesale channel. I've never seen retail, as opposed to Peter, whichever direction he is on your screen here. It's a great place for culture, and one of the big benefits of joining them, and one of the requirements, was that they used ARIVE. So yeah, it's a little bit about me.
How about you, Peter?
So Peter Karlin with GoRascal with Tom. Thank you, Tom and Kelly, for having me here. So I've been in the mortgage business for about 11 years. This is my 11th year. Retail for the first 10. Was it my last retail shop was Cross Country. I was there for 4 years, and I've used Encompass for much of my career. Didn't know about ARIVE, never heard of ARIVE, and joined the broker channel in January and found GoRascal. Actually, GoRascal found me, and has been awesome. Love, as Tom said, love the culture, love the support, love the leadership and the programs that they offer, and it's been a great experience. And I can tell you pretty much I will never be going back. I usually never use the word never, but I am probably never going back to the retail world. Been very happy, and ARIVE is just a delight, really, to use over Encompass. It's just really made my life easier. My processor, my other folks that work with me, just really cool. And born and raised New York, and live in Queens, New York.
Yeah, we were talking about that before we went live. So we have Philly, Queens, and Jersey in the house. East Coast represent. Hopefully we have some West Coast folks. I see Harish on here, so he's representing West Coast. All right, everyone. Well, go ahead, Arish. Did you want to say something?
You know, I think East Coast is far outsmarting West Coast at this point. I see so many. But yeah, thank you, Peter and Tom. So we appreciate you taking time and educating our community. So thank you for joining.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Welcome.
All right. So we have two great hosts here today. So I want to make sure that everyone has a chance to ask your questions. Like I said before, this is an interactive session. This isn't meant for you to just sit back and, oh, of course, we want you to listen, but we also want you to ask questions. We want you to engage. That's the whole purpose of this entire session here. So if you would like to, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, ask a question to our hosts. This could be really anything about how they use the platform, how they set things up, the different features that they use, their favorite features, stuff like that. And if maybe your microphone doesn't work, or maybe you're more comfortable typing, feel free to drop your question right in the chat and we will read them aloud for you. So I'm going to open up the floor. Who would like to go first and get their first question in?
So maybe I will start. So Tom, you used ARIVE before with the previous broker. So tell us maybe a little bit about your experiences. Were you on KLX before? Like Peter was on Encompass. Anything
Yeah,
you can share?
I was on Calyx, and it was great because you could really learn how to put things together in a real overcomplicated way by using Calyx. So it made you a little better, right? Just by learning on that. But when I saw the opportunity with ARIVE and your flexibility, right? Because you heard me, I was always saying, hey, can you add this feature? Can you add that feature? It was just like, that's where I want to be. Calyx wouldn't respond for 6 months to any email that you would say out there. I loved it for a couple of reasons, right? Sending out quotes was really difficult with Calyx, and I'm sure it is with many other software, and I'm sure there's others that are getting better. But the side-by-side view has received so much feedback from my clients of being just the best and easiest way to understand the quotes. And you can make it a little bit more complicated by adding fees, editing fees, just making it, fine-tuning it for the person that you're working with. No one else does that, for sure.
So we have a question here from someone who's curious about learning ARIVE and how you go about that as a new user. So can you talk to us about what you both did? Did you take trainings? Did you just kind of dive in and start using it? Can you talk to us a little bit about that process?
Sure. So for me, yeah, I mean, I know you guys do trainings, I think a few times a week. I am sort of embarrassed to tell you I have not taken one. But I was a dive in kind of guy. I just the folks at GoRascal sort of, I mean, it's really, to be honest, I think it's very intuitive. And I think it's simple, but the folks at GoRascal processing and support, took me through. And actually a buddy of mine who was at GoRascal before me just, started showing me how to put a loan in and how to do stuff. So I sort of learned on the fly. And I know there's a lot of stuff that I don't know, but I also know there's a lot of stuff that I do know, but getting loans in and the front end. And I would encourage everybody, if you haven't done like the front end, to do it, put a loan in yourself as if you were a borrower, to put that in, see it goes in the front end, and then see how it comes in the back end. And then, just, uploading docs and, drag and drop and labeling, super duper easy. The reporting mechanism, getting the reports out for your funded loans, your closed loans, all that stuff, phenomenal. And now you guys, I'm not really great with it yet, but the connectivity that you've now built to UWM, to the UWM portal, and notes. My team is super big on using the notes, keeping the notes for the whole history of what's going on with the borrower and the loan. So that's been super awesome.
How long do you think it took you? So you don't, and we hear this a lot, right? A lot of our users are like, we actually didn't take the training. We just kind of went in there and started poking around and we figured it out. And how long do you think it took you to really feel comfortable with that method of just kind of getting in there and doing it?
I don't really remember timing wise, but as loan officers, we know a 1003. You know, we know an ERLA. We know the questions, right? So when you go into ARIVE and you look at, you know, doing a new loan or something like that, it's really, you know, there's what, six, there's the loan and property, borrow info, financial info, product and pricing, and run your AOS. You know, there's really like there's five sections that you go for. And then if you want to review your fees, you know, you guys have a really nice fee sheet to put together, like a closing cost sheets. And that, you know, I think I don't know if I stumbled upon that and somebody told me about that, but I was like, oh my God, this is a wonderful little, you know, closing cost fee sheet to send out to people. So, you know, it's sort of like I guess, probably took me just a few loans to watch my buddy do a few loans to feel comfortable to play around with it. And then, you know, it was pretty easy from there. Yeah.
Cool. Glad to hear it. How about you, Tom?
I would say, as far as learning the system, it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. And like everyone else here, we're all busy and we don't have time all the time for trainings that we should go to. But ARIVE is awesome because you can go on their website and you can click on the new update feature link, and it will go through and basically go through a short little clip of how to use that feature. So if that feature pertains to your business, you could just go in there, take 3 seconds, and then just watch whoever's controlling it go through the steps of clicking, you know, this button, that button, this button to get this result. So I've taken the shortcut myself, and I just go up on the website pretty much every time you guys put an update on there. And if I have a question, that's kind of where I refer to on how to use something.
Very cool. And I'm not trying to shame you with not going to our trainings, by the way. We do hear a lot of people just being like, we jumped right in and learned it ourselves. So that's great. Of course, we love people coming to our trainings, but it's great if you can, you know, it is an intuitive system. So we love hearing that. And kind of going off what
I've got a quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. After you're done with that, can I ask a question?
You can go ahead and ask a question right now.
So, love UWM, hooked up the partnership, and I wanted to know, and I couldn't quite tell, is it a two-way integration where if something changes on my end, it automatically updates the loan file on their end? Or if we make a change on their end, does it automatically update ARIVE? Or do I need to reconnect each file every time I make a small switch?
I believe the only lender that actually does that is no longer in business, Caliber. Every other lender is kind of on the list as getting their system incorporated so they can communicate with updates that would affect your MCR. That's what you're asking, right? Like changing your call reports, all that data, CD out.
Yeah, I'm just looking for who's got the two-way integration. So it sounds like everybody else is one way and the only two-person doesn't do it anymore. Okay.
I think, I think Harish, you're the guy, right? You're the expert on that UWM integration, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Oh yeah, we have a team working on that, but I'm aware. So right now, just to maybe small correction, so NewRes, previously they were called Caliber and PRMG. They have like two-way integration, so you can send something to PRMG and they will update the loan back. Like to Tom, your point, these two lenders have, and with UWM we follow their portal approach. Like they have a system called Portal. So right now we are able to send loans to UWM and from UWM to ARIVE is in works. Probably either by end of the year or January next year, we will be able to sync data back from UWM, and we are using again their portal technology. So there is no, once you update ARIVE, the loans will not update UWM because portal will pull it first time, but then it will update the loans, loan amount
right
status.
So if I mark a few debts to be paid off just to tweak some stuff, I need to re-upload the entire file to the UWM portal or any other portal for that matter, other than what's coming up in the future. But I should consider making my adjustments in ARIVE and then moving the file back in there and re-updating them, not expecting those changes to transfer over automatically, correct?
Correct. So from ARIVE to the left. So once the loan is set up and registered in lender, ARIVE will not update any lender from at this point on. But with UWM, when they update the system back, it will write back those changes at least certain fields like statuses and loan amounts, and there are like 7 or 10 fields which will update back from a call report perspective. So that project is underway right now. We expect that to go live by, as I said, end of the year or maybe January, early January next year.
I mean, ARIVE's already amazing, but if you guys knock that out and make that a thing, damn, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a lender, right? Waiting on the lender kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so I think it's in
capability.
both sides. They're also pretty busy and swamped, and their portal works a specific way. So we are kind of working with them. I wouldn't just say it is just on the lender, but yes, and just with other lenders are also interested to support bi-directional because it does help brokers. So for example, Windsor and EPM, we have had several conversations. Again, these markets are a little challenging for them to invest resources. There is no cost to lender to do all this. So hopefully over time we can bring all these lenders on a common model where we can send data to these investors or lenders and they can update it back, because that would help you guys to be more efficient, if you will. So as markets evolve, hopefully there'll be more resources available to focus on these projects with these investors and lenders. But good question, great question, whoever asked that. Thank you.
Great question. All right, I am going to open up the floor again. Let's get some questions in here. I also, guys, just sent out a poll, I think. I just want to know, are you currently using ARIVE? Are you a current ARIVE user? Yes or no? I just kind of want to gauge the audience to see what we should be talking about.
One more quick question. Sorry to, the poll's great. ARIVE, I don't see integration with Zapier. Is that just because my boss hasn't clicked a button that says I can use it, or is that not available?
Do we have...
It should be, there should be somebody, but yes, I mean, if you're on the pro plan, the Zapier integration is on a different plan. That should be available on your menu bar at your user level and at your company level.
Okay, I gotta bug the boss then. Perfect. I'm a Zapier connoisseur, and I love for what it can do in long-term follow-up and everything else. So the fact that it works, I just got to get access to it. So thank you.
Thank you, Terry, for jumping in with your questions. We appreciate them. And it looks like about 20% of the users here are not currently using ARIVE. So I want to know for both sets of people here, for the folks who are currently using ARIVE and for the folks who are not, what were you looking to learn from this session? Where are you maybe struggling and looking for tips? Christopher, go right ahead.
Some trouble we've had talking about Zapier and integrations with a previous CRM. I'm kind of curious if ARIVE plans on having their own CRM.
Great question. I know Harish can talk towards this.
Yeah, it's a pretty big project. As I said, we do have some capabilities. I'm not sure if you're using in-transaction updates. So when the loan goes through different stages, we can update, agents and borrowers and other parties, or send reminders if the application is not finished by the borrower or documents are not submitted that you have requested. So we do have certain capabilities, and we do have some alerts like, rate alerts or happy birthday alerts.
That's where Zapier is so critical. You can use an amazing CRM called Follow a Boss, which is meant for agents, but it's the best CRM out there. And you can convert it to a lender version, and you can trigger off of anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
literally almost anything.
So that's a great point. So yes, we do have customers using different CRMs, Follow Up Boss, Bonzo, Monday, all that. So where they connect their whatever system they are using with us, and we will also launch something on our own probably sometime mid next year, as we have said, which will be again focused on specific use cases. Especially rates are going to go down in 9-12 months. So we do want to build tools by which you can launch campaigns to your customers saying, it's a time to refi. So that those kinds of capabilities will come live, and maybe early next year in January, we'll announce exact timelines. But certain functions we believe should exist in ARIVE. Specifically, we are in a very high rate environments, and maybe 6 to 9 to 12 months, these rates will go down. So we want to give you tools so you can run outreaches and campaigns and nurture campaigns with your clients directly. And obviously Zapier is another route. If you want to go that route and use some other tool, that would always be available. But our goal
Well,
is
that's where I think, yeah, if you guys use Zapier and you allow all functionality in Arrive to trigger in Zapier, because a lot of companies limit it, if all the milestones are triggerable, then there would be no point in wasting resources building a CRM on your end. You could spend that time and effort building a better version of what you already are good at and let some other CRM send out the auto emails and text messages.
Yeah, no, I think a
For
great point. We
instance,
already
we've
do that.
been-
And there's a cost aspect. And as I said, we talk to brokers to Tom's point. So we kind of categorize all our feedback. We have, thousands and thousands of requests of different types, like you said, Terry, to better different capabilities, maybe add more features. So this feature is going to get rolled out. As I said, from our perspective, you don't want, you are welcome to use a third-party system, but a lot of our brokers want to save cost. And, so again, the capabilities that we can do ourselves, which are very native from an experience viewpoint, we'll go ahead and do it, but also keep it open. So yes, to your point, if you're more comfortable with a third-party system, Follow Up Boss or Zillow or whatever that is right now, you're very welcome to use that as well. So I think we'll give options is what I'm saying. Like, we'll build tools ourselves, which you are welcome to use, again, as a natively as a part of our ARIVE ecosystem. But if you're more comfortable with a third-party system, we'll let you connect that as well. But great points. We appreciate
Love
this
that.
feedback.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really critical, because as a person who does business and with the mortgage business coming and going, shops opening and closing, there's so much transitional stuff that happens in the mortgage world right now. Owning your data and having it separate from the company you work at is, in my opinion, critical to you being able to do future business. So I wouldn't want a CRM tied to anything other than my bank account.
Well, Terry, we appreciate your thoughts. We're big on feedback at this company. And I think it's a really important point to bring up at this point, is that we really ingest every piece of feedback that we get from our users. And we encourage you guys, if you do have feedback, please send it to feedback@arrive.com. This is where we can actually track and implement all of your feedback and suggestions, recommendations, things like that. And you'll be able to get an update on those things that you suggested through the ticket that's created. So I will put that in the chat here, feedback@arrive.com. All righty. So let's continue on with the conversation here. So I know someone in the chat had asked about discussing some of the best features of Pro. Can either of our hosts speak to, are you guys using the Pro version of Arrive?
I am.
You are, cool. Can you guys speak to that a little bit, or would you like our team to kind of chime in on that?
I'll speak to it.
Yeah, cool.
DocuSign is expensive and they're out of control with how they just raise fees arbitrarily. Arrive is a fee you pay and you can do the same exact thing. So you can drag and drop all your docs in there. You can have whoever you want sign. It's a great opportunity for you to save some money in this market, of course. And then there's the text feature, which is also awesome and very affordable, where you can update all milestones and select who's going to get that text, what that text is going to say. It's very easily editable. Yeah, and those are the two that I use the most. What other options are there in the Pro, Harish?
You can white label your point of sale, so you can create and even your LOS. So it can be GoRascal's LOS, not Arrive LOS, and likewise even on the POS you can. So there are more customization capabilities if you go on the Pro. Again, if you can have a public link to get documents. Let's say you have a participant who does not want to create an account, but you want to collect documents, so it gives you a Dropbox or a box-like experience. Again, I'm not sure, Tom, if you're using all.
No, I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
awesome.
So this is one of our goals. Like we do all these features, and go ahead. So
Noisy Terry here again, but your guys' automated situational, what's ARIVE sign is so much better than DocuSign. I've had no problems with the customer, and the money I save on DocuSign, and the fact that Zillow may or may not be looking at buying DocuSign because .loop didn't work for them. I like to keep my data mine. You guys are killing it with that. That is alone worth the pro version. There's other options, so I'm gonna shut up now. But yeah.
No, thank you, Terry. We appreciate this feedback. As you rightly said, with pro features, that there are simple things like lead capture, which was released a few months ago. I'm not sure, Tom, if you have used that. So you can build lead forms, and those lead forms will capture just, what are you trying to do, and how much you're looking to borrow, without requiring a login or complicated application. So there was request like, how can I collect a small amount of information? Let's say you are on social media or posting on social media. You don't want to post your point of sale link. That's a pretty intense application to collect. So we build these lead forms, which are like 5-6 questions you can customize. And so again, I'm not sure again, Tom, if you're using them or is anybody using them?
Yeah, is
I will
anyone
be. I will be future. I'm not now.
Yeah, so those are all pro features. Like again, these are simple add-ons to core platform, and very simple to use. And we'll keep adding these next year after as we march along.
Yeah. And there is something going on in the chat here. So Mark says, sorry, was there a text option? And yes, we're happy to say. So if you are the company admin, you have the ability to plug in your Twilio credentials and utilize texting. So that's a big one. All right.
Quick pro tip on Twilio. If you live in a state like I do, like Alaska, if it's not 907, it doesn't count. So go get a 907 number and port it over. But you need a local number, and then call a friend who doesn't have you saved tonight, like on their phone, and see what it says when you pop up. If it says spam, get a new number. If it doesn't say spam, there's YText and there's a bunch of other companies that you can go out and label your phone number so people know exactly who is calling them.
That is a great tip. Terry's tips.
Terry's tips. That's a good one, Kelly. So
I like it. Keep them coming, Terry. All right. So we talked about Broker Pro. We talked about Twilio. We talked about training. What else do we have for the folks who are already using ARIVE? What are you looking to learn from our hosts here today? What will make your job and your life easier to learn from these folks? You've learned it all. Tom.
All right, well, I'm gonna interject real quick. As somebody who used Encompass for 3 years and I didn't know any better, and somebody showed me ARIVE, and I was like, wait, what's this? And they're like, it's a web-based platform that works everywhere. You don't have to have a special IBM laptop, VPN with all the nonsense. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I can boost a loan on my phone, on my iPad. I can be on an airplane, which I'm about to do. And like that alone is so much worth mentioning, because most LOS platforms require these crazy logins and multi-factor everything.
Yes, sir.
I got to do business where I can do it, and I'm doing it on the move.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Agreed.
Love it. All right. And for those of you who don't know, I just want to remind everyone, a recording of this session will be available on YouTube. So if you're worried about taking these tips down or maybe recording yourself, fret not. It will be on our YouTube channel on Monday. And make sure you're following our YouTube channel. All right, I'm opening it up again. Let's get some questions. We've got another 10, 15 minutes left here. I want to make sure everyone has a chance to open it up. Again, if you're uncomfortable unmuting yourself, if you're not a Terry, please just drop your question in the chat. We are happy to address it.
So is anyone here using soft pulls? This is kind of question, maybe Tom, are you using soft pulls? We are hearing their costs will become equal to regular pulls starting January. It is all up in the air, but is anybody has any thoughts or is, so
I
Tom, do
give,
you?
sorry, Jerry again here. I give the client the option. I'm like, look, you're going to pay for the credit report at the end or the beginning. We can soft pull and not get you blown out. And I explain what trigger leads are. And I have a whole video about trigger leads. And I show them how to opt out of the pre-screen before we do the hard pull. But I'm like, let's do the soft pull and get you qualified and see what you can do. And then during your shopping experience, let's opt you out and let's do the hard pull. But our company asks the client to pay for the credit pull upfront.
Yeah, I think with thoughtful, and I may be wrong, like you cannot charge the client, so you have to pay for it. But what I hear is FICO is again coming in. So soft pulls will be almost equally as expensive as hard pulls. So it'll be an interesting situation next year.
Yeah.
So Thomas, are you using it in your business? Like, do you first kind of do a soft check before, or you directly?
I take an application and have a conversation and sort of judge what I need to do. And if I think that we might have credit issues, I will just pull one bureau. It's like $2 or $3 or maybe more at this point. And I just do that to qualify. And if I think I have a loan, then I'll go the next step. So I sort of use it as like let's not spend so much upfront, just spend what we need. And then, and if it's going to UWM, which is probably 40 or 50% of my business, then I'm using their option, which is that $23 charge the client option.
Yeah, I'm using soft pulls probably most of the time out of ARIVE, and but it actually depends, as Tom said as well. If I'm doing a loan right out of the gate, I got a contract, it's new, I got to start, I'm doing hard pull. I'm going to do a hard pull. If it's someone who's shopping, we need a pre-approval, I'll go soft, and I will typically go all three bureaus because I want to see all three. And then when I do, a former manager taught me this. When I do a hard pull, if I didn't tell somebody to do an opt out, and I don't know if this is working, but it seems to be because I haven't heard any issues about trigger leads. I will put a dummy email address and phone number into the person's fields, and then I'll do my hard pull. And I've never had somebody tell me that they're getting calls or emails or anything like that from credit pulls. So I think that putting dummy information in has been working for me. So, but then of course, you have UWM is doing that safe check where they'll, if you do a soft pull with them out of their system, then you can get their hard pull. In the soft pull, we'll do an AUS. You could do an AUS run, and then you can, which is obviously we can't do it yet in ARIVE, but you could do an AUS run, and then you could do a hard pull and they pick up the cost for that as well, which is kind of cool.
Very nice. We have a question here. Someone chatted me who's thinking of using ARIVE. Can you talk towards call reports? Do either of our hosts want to talk towards call reports?
Say that question again. I didn't catch. I was reading what I thought was a question.
User, or not a user, someone who is thinking of joining ARIVE and wants to know your experience with call reports.
Tom, is that not at David Scott level? I don't.
It is, but I can speak to it. I had access at the old shop to that
cool.
stuff. It was the easiest possible option you could think of. It was click, done. click the dates, quarter, dates, whatever. Click the data you want to pull, and it was button and export, and it was done. It was so easy. And I think you have multiple ways to export, like in a spreadsheet, maybe a PDF. Like I think you have different options within those options as to how you can pull the information.
Perfect.
And it was literally click, done.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome.
You know what I just started? Actually, if I could just jump in for a second, Kelly, what I started using, and someone turned me on to, I have 2 LOAs, and I now have my filters, right, set up to see the loans based on my 2 LOAs, which is kind of cool. You know,
Yeah.
just drop them down. So yeah, pretty
Cool.
helpful on that.
Awesome. We do have a question about the realtor portal, but I think our hosts maybe can't speak to that as well. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Nope,
But
you
is
are
there
not wrong.
anyone on the call who can speak towards the realtor portal? Are you using it? Anyone want to chime in? Terry?
You know, honestly, I am I can't speak to it yet. So I signed up for and became an app developer for Apple. It's $100 a year. And all I'm doing is turning a website into an app and making it so that I can have my own official air quotes app that I can send to people. It's still in the works though, but for $100 to be able to have your own app, that's where we're at.
Very cool. Well, if anyone is interested in learning more about the Realtor portal, you can obviously watch our videos or join and ask ARIVE. They would be happy to show you how that works. We have a lot of folks who really utilize the Realtor portal as a sales tool when they are talking to agents to kind of get their foot in the door, because agents really like that. And whether they use it down the line is a different question, but we do hear a lot from our users that it is a good sales tool for getting in the door.
Oh, it's super good. My wife's an agent. She loves all the options, the little clickables, I mean, she's pushing me super hard to make it available to other people. So, it's a really good tool.
Very nice. Terry, you're in Alaska? We just bypassed that, by the way. Terry said he lives in Alaska.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything.
I live in Alaska, and the company I work for doesn't have business here. So I split the line. I do mortgages in Washington, Arizona, Ohio, and a couple other states because getting a mortgage license was super easier than getting a real estate. I got my real estate license, and if anybody knew, they'd be flabbergasted. I can give you $1 million of debt after a 20-hour class, but I can't sell you a $100,000 condo unless I spend 90 hours learning how to not get sued. So I do real estate locally in Alaska because I think it's fun and I like the in-person interactions, and frankly, price points are different. So in Alaska, a real estate transaction is equal to a mortgage transaction in Washington. So once a week, I fly to Washington, meet my realtors, do my business there. I spend 1 week setting appointments, next week attending them. So the majority of agents don't even know the difference. They don't care. The majority of clients don't want to meet the actual loan officer in person, except in Alaska, which is why it was really weird and difficult to try to do what I was doing. So I just switched over to real estate. So I show and go. I show the houses, write the contracts for the wife, and then she takes them from contract to closing. And so it gives me a really, really unique perspective as a loan officer when I come down and talk to people about how to do business, what we're doing, what's working for us. I'm not talking from conjecture. I'm talking from, here's my ROI. Do you want to see my taxes? Like, let's talk about business and how we get it. And that conversation, plus the fact that I worked at Zillow for 4 years and sold leads, and that's what got my wife started in the real estate business. Ever since then, I put every single family member, my wife, my mom, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, like everybody I could get to listen to me, I got them into real estate because it's such a good business for the time and dollars invested versus what you actually get out of it. And then, as the LO, it's not terrible to have a bunch of people that you put in the business. I still, to be fair, I generate 70, almost 80% of my business organically, but those guys have kept me solid through the slow season. So that's my story. And I just fly around and travel around to where the business is at and stay in touch with as many people as I can, leave reviews on everybody's pages, and then the other thing, as a lender, I teach classes. Classes are the best way to get one-to-many. Find a subject like ChatGPT, learn a little bit, show them something, put a QR code link in the corner, and say, if you need more information or you want to go one-on-one, schedule it up. I do one class and I fill my calendar for 2 weeks. And so that's what I do is I travel around and I teach people the new technology. All the podcasts I listen to are real estate, half are real estate, half are mortgage. Real estate one, so I can say what to do. Mortgage stuff, so I can understand how to be a mortgage guy.
You are quite the mover and shaker, Terry. You're all over the place.
No, I'm not as good as I sound. I just sound good on the radio.
I don't know, Terry. This says you're a top 1% real estate agent in Anchorage. Is that true? I just read it on the internet, brother, on the realtor.com. That's what
You know
it
what?
says.
It is and it isn't, because I don't ever convert any deals on my own because the mortgage companies freak out if I do. So I get everybody to sign and then I push everybody. Oh wait, are we leaving? Hold on.
Well,
He got a plane to catch. He's on a plane.
I'm about to get lost on my gate. But no, I don't do any real estate business. My wife does. But
I got
her first year in real estate, from March till the end of the year, 23 deals, 50 the next, 70 the next, and then 10 the next, because she was just so burnt out, and I overdid it because I used her story to sell my product, and that's when I was, I pushed too hard.
well,
So,
we appreciate you being here, Terry.
me personally, yeah, no, I'm happy to answer questions. I love ARIVE. I'm excited to be on the broker side of life. I don't know why anybody wouldn't be here. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. So I don't know why anybody would be a regular lender, because I did that for 3 years and it seems like a bad idea. So we'll see what's going on.
Awesome. Well, safe travels, Terry. It sounds like you're maybe at the airport or something. But I want to address, I got a private message about the recording of this. So just so everyone knows, the recording of this will be available on YouTube on Monday. If you cannot wait until Monday, we do have previous sessions that are all recorded and they're all available on our YouTube channel now. So if you'd like to go back and watch those, they are there. They are available to you. I will try to drop a link in as soon as I get it to our YouTube channel. But we have just a few moments left, everyone. I just want to make sure that all questions have been asked and answered. Do we have any remaining questions for our amazing hosts, Tom and Peter of GoRascal? We have a little bit of a quiet group today. It must be the start of the holiday season. Everyone's a little...
If not, hey, you know what? I'm a loud guy and I'll speak up. One more thing. We are coming into a time when there's a bunch of people quitting. Those of you guys that can stay in this, oh man, on the other side of it, ask anybody that lived through the 05 through 09. It was like literally owning a money printing press. So if there's anything I can do to help real estate or mortgage side, my specialty is in lead gen. When I worked at Zillow, I got to ask a bunch of really successful people how they made the money they made all across the country. And because we didn't live near them, they would tell us because we weren't competition. Took it home, asked the wife to try it out. She did it, made a bunch of money, stressed her out and freaked her out. But now we're living a simpler life. She is anyways. I'm still gung-ho. Hit me up at Finance with Dad, pretty much on any social media platform, and I'm more than willing to help out anybody that has a question.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that. And for those of you who need more additional support, remember we do have a bunch of trainings throughout the week. So if you actually want to see things, if you want our ARIVE experts to break things down for you, screen share so you can actually see it, please join Ask ARIVE. We run that 3 times per week. So you can drop in, like I said, you don't have to stay for the whole hour. You can drop in, ask your question, get your answer, and then hop right out, or stay for the whole hour and listen to everything. But these sessions are super valuable. Our ARIVE product experts are extremely knowledgeable and generous with their time. So please make sure to utilize all of those opportunities that we have available for our ARIVE experts. And I just want to say a very quick thank you to our awesome hosts, Peter and Tom. You guys were awesome. Really, thank you so much for being here. We don't pay these folks to come on and say nice things about us. So we're super appreciative that you both were able to join us and to drop so much knowledge on our attendees. So thank you guys so much for being here.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, like I said, again, this recording will be on YouTube on Monday. If you can't wait and you want to see some other recordings, they are available on our YouTube channel now. But other than that, I will see you all back here with another pair of awesome guests in 2 weeks. We'll see you then. Bye.